guys. So depending on where you are with a little more outdoor, you probably have a little bit of understanding about us, but we wanted to give you a bit more of an insight to help you understand who we are, where we've come from, and where we're trying to get to. So we've come up with 10 questions or 10 facts that you probably didn't know about us. Keri, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I just never could really settle on one thing. I knew that I didn't want to do any kind of ordinary jobs that were laid out, and I wanted to do something really different. And the one thing that I remember when I was kind of, I don't know, maybe 9 or 10 was that I just loved dolphins and I wanted to do something with dolphins. I didn't really know what. Thought about training dolphins, but then I realised that actually that wasn't a very nice thing to do. So I gave up on that dream and started the next one.
At one point I wanted to be a marine biologist, but I thought it mainly involved sitting on a boat in a sunny place. It turns out it doesn't. It's more like labs and seaweeds and that kind of thing. And then by the time I was leaving school, it was a choice between being a nurse or being a director. Didn't have the qualifications to be a nurse, so I did film at university, and then realised that didn't let me be outdoors, hence the outdoor instructor. So you probably guessed by the name of our website that we had something to do with the outdoors. We both worked in the outdoor industry, but how did we meet, Keri?
Well, we've both got slightly different views on the first time we met, but the first time I really remember, Nick, was I was working on a project at the outdoor centre and I was feeling really ill and I had a really bad cold, and I actually used to have a lot of allergies, and I was sneezing away and looking really attractive, and along comes Nick and he pulls out of his pocket a new pack of tissues. And I was like, how thoughtful.
You go, way to any woman's heart. Yeah, so we met in Cumbria in a town called Alston, which is the highest and probably the most remotest town in the UK. I got there a couple of months after you. You were set on just being there for a little while. I was really enjoying it and convinced you to stay.
Nick somehow convinced me to sell everything I owned and spend £16,000 on a yachtmaster's course, having only ever been on a dinghy and a few little sailing trips and a few trips with my dad on boats, but never really don't think I even quite knew what I was signing up for. But I was like, what an adventure, so let's do it. And so off we went to the Isle of Wight to spend 3 months on a yacht.
So we're doing our commercial yacht masters. So when I finished uni, I had this big idea about relocalization of economy and a more sustainable kind of planet, and so I wanted to sail across to Cuba and some of the islands there where the economy had been relocalized, and so that's why I was in the outdoor industry, actually trying to get my qualifications, but it wasn't happening fast enough. So I wanted a fast track yacht master course and wanted someone to come with me. So got Keri to come. So 3 months later we had a yacht master's qualification, but absolutely nowhere to use it because it turns out that there wasn't any jobs at that time of the year. Also, I get awfully seasick, which
So sick.
which I probably should have checked before we spent 3 months on a yacht. But
I was all right.
yeah, that was quite lucky because it was a weird story that actually got us our next kind of job or position running our own outdoor centre.
We'd heard about lots of jobs on boats where couples work together, and we didn't see the point in one person going off, I don't know, to the Caribbean and one of us kind of staying in France or something, working on boats. So we thought we'd stay together, look for some couples jobs, and we found our own a place that was looking to run for a couple to run an outdoor centre, and it was kind of everything we'd talked about and wanted.
Actually, this is an opportunity to take a kind of derelict outdoor centre, fix it all up, and then we had like a pretty much limitless supply of kind of young people from a training provider.
Yeah, so it was like really rewarding to work with the young people.
At first.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was. And yeah, we had a small holding and we learnt a lot about looking after animals and built our own obstacle course, and yeah, we did quite a lot there. It was good fun.
It was a big learning curve, I think, to kind of, we were working for a company, we weren't employees, we weren't working under a manager or anything like that, where we kind of had our own reign of things, and that gave us a bit of a taste for having our own business and understanding what a business meant. You know, just running sessions didn't make the business work, we had to make it profitable, and as the funding got pulled, that changed more and more, and we learnt like, oh, okay, we have to build a website and that kind of thing, and that kind of, I suppose that's kind of planted a seed for what a little more outdoor became. Just a random one about me. Some of you might know, and I think I've mentioned it in a couple of emails, is that I'm actually really dyslexic. So I really struggled in school. Always quite good in class and kind of getting involved in discussions and stuff, but just could never express it on paper. So it was a big barrier for me, and didn't get diagnosed until I was 18, so right at the end of school, and my grades went from like U's and D's to like B's and C's. I, you know, got a couple of A's in coursework, but not in exams. Still struggled in that sense. But just having those strategies really helped. But I think it's been a big part of kind of seeking an alternative route, you know, type of employment. But equally, I would never give it up because I feel like it's part of me. I think it makes me very good at problem solving. So it's all about like, when I see a word, I see it in every different perspective, and that's the same way I approach problems. So yeah, it's something that comes through, and I'm always amazed by the amount of like subscribers that come through that kind of recognise it in me and share their own story with me. So yeah, something I've enjoyed and something I'd like to make you guys aware of. So you've got a better understanding of who we are. Now we want to tell you a little bit about where we're going and what we're trying to achieve. These are the 2 questions that we ask everyone that joins our campfire group, which you'll learn more about later.
I've been struggling with this one quite a lot, because in the back of my head there's a lot far bigger things I want to do than the things I'm going to say right now. But I think at the moment, in the times we're in and with everything going on, the thing that's really driving me at the moment is to be able to get the freedom to travel and to see new places and spend more time with our immediate family, our wider family. And once I've done that, I want to do a lot more, but I think I just want to kind of take one step at a time. I've spent a lot of time in life just thinking about what's the next thing I'm going to do, where am I going to go next, and I just kind of want to focus on the one thing, and then once I've got more time and I've had that headspace and kind of seen some of the things I want to see and spent that kind of time with the children, then I'm going to look into the next things I want to achieve, because I know there's much more, but at the moment my kind of aim is more about spending more time as a family and spending some time travelling around.
It's interesting, I think, because we kind of come from 2 different points and kind of met in the middle, haven't we? Like, because obviously my whole like early life was kind of built around this idea of like, how am I going to relocalise the economy? Like, how am I going to sail across the Atlantic and change the whole world? And actually, yeah, now it's like really driving me. It's just, oh my God, I'm missing out on the kids growing up, and like, I'm not doing the things I love doing every day. I'm not going outdoors. And then that's essentially what Little More Outdoors become. It's like, okay, well, how do we do that? And actually, rather than trying to help the whole world, it's like, well, who can I help individually? And as we get people come through, like, it's been a really nice chance to get to know people and see them progress and change, and then knowing that they're going off and doing their own thing and helping the world in their way, and just realising actually you're making a little difference is actually a bit more satisfying than trying to make a big difference and failing. And but also having the freedom to go and do all the other things that we want to do. We talked about like going to Slovenia, haven't we, and like just living kind of not off the land, so to speak, but like, I'm really interested in like permaculture, so I'd love to like experiment with that but not have to rely on it 100%. Still have the freedom to go see family and travel. We, you know, do some mountains and things and build something really interesting, but not forever, you know, to do it for however long it's interesting and enjoyable, and then go off and do other things.
We've done a lot of kind of big adventures together. We got really into running together, and that kind of led to like looking into things that were healthier, like healthier food choices. Naturally, because we love being outside, anything we can do that protects the environment is important to us.
So how do you make the environment accessible to everyone, and like the outdoors accessible to everyone, and protect it and make sure it's safe? And
I think that like the more people you can get out and enjoying it and respecting it, the more likely to
more public awareness of like those kind of spaces, and making sure that they're there in the first place.
And if we can help share any of those messages that encourage people to respect the environment and make choices that make them live a happy life. And
I think that's been a big realisation for us, that just because of the life that we've ended up in, like after leaving the outdoor centre and trying to do normal jobs, like we always kind of like, how do people not go outdoors and go running and go walking and stuff like that? But actually, like how hard it is doing a full day's work and getting back and looking after kids and cooking a meal, and you know, and then where do you go on a weekend? Like if you know, there's only like 4 parks or parking spaces, and you know, it's actually really hard if you're not, you know, up for running miles and miles and miles. It's really hard just to go and enjoy the outdoors, isn't it? Just because the constraints of your life. And I suppose it's been so important for us and our well-being. You know, certainly for me, it was so detrimental just not having that access and not having that freedom. And I think that's, how do we change that? Okay, so hopefully that tells you a little bit more about us. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want some more kind of information about what we're doing. Visit our website at alittlemoreoutdoor.com and get our free email series, which is going to show you everything that we've done with our business and how you could do something similar, and if it's right for you, really. And a little challenge for you in the comments below. Why don't you try and put in what you'd like to achieve in life and what you're doing in order to achieve that. We'd love to know. It's always good for us to understand more. And we look forward to seeing you in another video.